What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And today we're going to take a little bit of a chill pill, and we're going to go ahead and show you guys my personal teams versus this treasure map versus Eustace Kid. Now, I just got done finishing streaming. I streamed for about 2 to 2.5 hours of this treasure map, so if you guys wanted to go ahead and check out the VOD, you can go check out the Twitch channel, of course. But in this video today, we're going to be going through the treasure map with my personal teams. This is a pre-recorded clip that I just got done finishing recording with, and I feel like it's just a lot easier to talk about all the teams whilst the footage is playing, rather than me trying to do it simultaneously. And I have done it in the past, but I just feel like it is a lot easier to talk about it after the fact. But either way, this is the full video of my playthrough of the treasure map. I'm not going to cut any of it out, so you guys will see everything in real time. But of course, I'm not going to be speaking throughout the entire duration of this video, only when we get to certain boss fights. But we're about to come up against Ryzer, which is the intrusion battle boss, which is actually kind of difficult, because if you don't have Rare Recruit King from the recently released Kaido vs Big Mom Sugo Fest batch, it definitely makes this fight a lot more difficult. If you're unlucky enough to not get that character, your best bet in terms of point boosters would be to use the switch effect of the Sakazuki and Borsalino Kizuna unit. The switch effect will go ahead and change, or it doesn't really change anything, but it gets rid of 1 turn of special bind on your team, because on stage 2 you will get inflicted with 5 turns of special bind, and the only boosted unit that you can actively use that could help you in this situation would probably be King. Unfortunately, Halloween Buggy is not boosted, along with Boa Hancock, of course. Because in this treasure map, the Buggy was boosted on Japan, and that would definitely help out a lot here, because it would help you get rid of that special bind. But King is also really useful because it will help you get rid of the blindness debuff as well. And you can see I do use the treasure map Rare Recruit Luffy to help us get rid of that bind that is going to be quite nasty on our team as well. Now, there may be discrepancies between the teams you see in this video and my my treasure map team video that I uploaded the other day, and that's just because, as you play through the treasure map, you kind of find different things that will work a little bit better for you, and that's pretty much standard with most treasure maps. The plan teams that you do have may differ and change as the map goes on, which is exactly what happened here. So I ended up changing out the X-Drake, which was on this team, the Rumble X-Drake. Instead of using that, I opted to use Otama because it gave me more damage output here against the Ryzer boss fight. And I mean, we'll see how it goes moving forward, but I think this team may kind of struggle to output some more damage as the nav levels go on. And if that does happen, then I may have to change things up a little bit further, but we'll just see how things go for now. But at the moment, it's running quite well. But as I said, things may change as time goes on. But I'll leave you guys with the rest of this, and we'll pick things up once we get to the next Battle Rush boss. So talking about the first Battle Rush boss, we're going to have Chopper M on here. Chopper is a very, very easy character to take down. He only has 100,000 HP at nav level 1, so his scaling is quite low. And, well, personally speaking, I like to run teams for the Battle Rush bosses that are more centered around speed clearing them. Because I find the Battle Rush bosses, like, even though you can go ahead and just run a full team of point boosters and get the most points possible, the fact that these Battle Rush bosses just don't have a very high base points to begin with means that, yeah, you can run your full point boosted team and get slightly more points. But through personal experience, I found that just by running faster teams to clear the Battle Rush bosses and then stacking all of your best point boosters into the final boss and the intrusion battle boss does seem to be a more pleasant way to get through Treasure Map. Obviously, you don't have to play that way. It's just the way that I have preferred to play Treasure Map for a little while now. And that'll be quite evident with the second team that we'll go through. But in this team here, you can see that we're just using NL to wave clear each stage. And for the final boss stage, I'm running a Vanderdecken support attached to Hody Jones, just meaning we don't have to launch his special ability when we get inflicted with the special bind, at least not for a while. And because his HP is so low, we can just do normal attacks to kill Chopper. You could probably just, pass the turn and let NL's captain effect kill for the first few levels, of course, but switching with the Germa 66 character allows us to get clear damage without any problems whatsoever. So that's no problem there against Chopper Imon. And then moving on to the secondary team, which is going to be after this, is going to be against Hyogoro. Now, as I did already establish, I do like to run more faster teams that are built around clearing the content as fast as possible, and that is, as I said, quite evident with this team that we're going to be going through, which I don't even use a point boosting captain. I go ahead and use Legend Kaido as the captain instead. Because obviously Legend Kaido has his amazing captain effect to wave clear, which is quite good. He also gives your powerhouse and striker characters -2 cooldown at the start of the fight, which of course helps your subs to be ready. And just running point boosting subs should be more than enough. Plus with Kaido's end of turn damage that he provides, that's going to really help us take down Hyogoro without even having to launch too many specials, which definitely makes a big difference, and in terms of overall speed of the content, which is nice. And for this team specifically, the thing about Hyogoro is he does give you Despair, which is why we're using X-Drake. X-Drake also gives adjacent slots as matching, but that doesn't really matter because personally I am running version 1 Akano support attached to Ace, so when we launch his special ability, we'll get a full board of strength slots. There is an effect active on this team that makes the strength slot matching for Jinbei, which is good. We also have Jinbei, of course, who will go ahead and give us a color affinity to our Psi and strength characters, and also int characters, but none present on this team. And then we've got the Sweet Commanders, which will give us an attack boost, a color affinity boost, which obviously is only for strength characters, and then also a chain boost, which is great. So even though we don't really have like a dedicated attack boost, with all of these boosts active, especially with chain burst, and we hit all of our perfects, and then Kaido's end of turn damage, this is going to be clearing for quite a long time. And in this team example here, I do actually have some sort of cooldown buff active, so I could actually go ahead and launch Kaido's special as well to give us additional health cuts, which means further on down the line, that's going to really be substantial in helping us clear this guy a lot quicker. But as you can see, because it's such an early nav level, this is nav level like 12 or 13, it's pretty straightforward from here, just letting Kaido, do the heavy lifting throughout that boss fight, which is really, really good. Now, the third team for this treasure map that I'm using is going to be versus Okiku. Now, for versus Okiku, I was, tossing back and forth as I was playing it on stream today, trying to figure out the most ideal way forward. Because the thing that I kind of didn't realize at the time is the cooldown of Colosseum Neptune was a little too much for my liking. So instead of using Colosseum Neptune, you'll see that I am using the dual unit from Treasure Map, the Sakazuki and Isho. And the main reason for that is because their switch effect will provide an orb boost to our int characters, which is ideally what we want at the very least. And it also will have a switch effect that will cut the enemy's health by, I think it's like 7% at the end of the turn, which is going to help us get around the resilience buff that Okiku has. Now, with versus Kaido and Big Mom, for those who don't know, you can actually run versus Kaido and versus Big Mom on 2 separate teams and still get the point boost for that. So that's really dope, and it makes these versus units amazing units to have for Treasure Map in general, which is nice. We have Rare Recruit King to help us get around the special reverse that will be inflicted on the final stage. And then we've also got Queen to get rid of the enemy's increased defense and also give us a 3x chain lock. Zoroduro technically could just be replaced with whatever you want. You don't actually need him on the team. team. I do like him for wave clearing, does make it a little bit more faster, but in the grand scheme of things, you know, Zoro could really be replaced with whatever you want. But, you know, obviously once all specials are active, as long as you use the switch effect of the Fujitora and Sakazuki, it's very, very important that you do that so that you are able to get through the resilience buff at the end. And that's pretty much it. And this is not even activating the Big Mom special ability either. And if you do need even more damage, you could use a Big Mom special in the stage prior, get an orb boost in the following stage, use the other one to get an attack boost in that stage as well. So it's all quite simple. Obviously, if you have these boosted units, it's going to make your life a whole lot easier for this treasure map, of course. And then the final boss team is going to be against Kamazo. Now, the Kamazo team, I am using a non-boosted unit again, just to make my life a whole lot easier, and you'll see how this actually works here. We are going to be using the Kizuna Kid, which, you know, honestly should have been a boosted unit. This unit is considered a recommended character for the previous fight that we just took on, and he's not even a point booster in this treasure map, so it is very frustrating that's the case. But I am using Halloween Mihawk as our captain because his captain effect will outright get rid of the paralysis that we'll have to deal with on the final stage. We get 5 turns of bind, so Sockets gets rid of 3 turns of that. The Shinobu and Nami unit will get rid of the additional 2 turns of that. It gives us color affinity. We have the Kizuna Kid just to help us wave clear all these stages up until the boss fight, and then the super type special of Mihawk will give us a full board of matching slots and also give us a huge amount of tap timing bonus damage. And if we really do need it, we can activate the special of Lord to give us an orb boost. We can activate the special of Mihawk to give us an attack boost and a health cut. So, you know, honestly speaking, this team is going to work essentially forever. I don't really see a situation where this team isn't going to work. This is a pretty high damage outputting team without really too many problems here. In terms of point boost, yeah, it's not the most efficient, as I said, but in terms of speed plus points, it's pretty effective in that right. So that's really, really nice, and that's pretty much how this team is taking on this team right here. And now we take a look at the final boss fight, which is going to be against Kid. And of course, we're going to be using versus Kaido as our captain, getting a Luffy Taro friend captain for the most efficient points that we possibly can. Now, again, this is another team where, you know, it's going to get a little bit sketchy as time goes on because, you know, that'll always be the case when you're using the treasure map rare recruits as your friend captain. Obviously, that is the most efficient way for points, but it's definitely not the most efficient way in terms of speed and clearing it. But remember, this is the final boss fight. You don't really care about speed that much. The final bosses and the intrusion bosses, you want to ensure you have your point boost because that is where the points matter the most. Doesn't really matter for the Battle Rush bosses as we've already established, but here it definitely does. So on stage 4, we're going to be encountering Hawkins. He's going to give us block orbs, and we are going to be using the Luffy special, which will go ahead and health cut the enemy as well as give us 3 turns of color affinity. And we've got Kamazo, who's going to be a phenomenal unit to run here because he gets rid of the burn and he gets rid of the enemy's damage reduction effect that will be applied there. So he's a really, really good unit. If you have a health boost here, it actually will make Kamazo's damage even higher because it's based on how much HP you lost when you launch his special, which is nice. But you know, if you've got more HP, it does more damage. So I am doing normal attacks here. Ideally, you know, once it's a really high nav level, I'll be using a Kaido special here to carry an orb boost into the final stage and getting the matching slots and all that. Now on the final boss stage, you actually will get block orbs again, which is why I'm using the support of Brule on Luffy Taro to get a full board of matching slots. We've got Dobon to get us the chain lock. We've got Jack to get rid of the attack down. And that is pretty much it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Good luck on farming your treasure map. I hope that your red tickets that you get from your rewards are really, really good. And I'll be uploading all of my rewards from treasure map once we do get our ranking rewards a few days after the treasure map does conclude. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.